we start our session looking at the London skyline, an even balance between brick and glass, between old and new. Uh, a city that is both harmonious and in some ways always at war with itself. We see the Shard, the aggressive metal structure that it is, next to the Gherkin, genuinely called that if you're not familiar, of genuinely ovuloid pickle shaped glass building, with a very, very fancy restaurant on top. And as we look across that and whirl around to the Thames, spinning away over to the right, we get the crackle of static and the sound of clips and bits and pieces of different audio, as the sound of a radio being tuned. Hello, hello, party people. You have tuned in to Golden Hour Radio, and I'm your host, AU. I'm gold, baby. Today, we bring you another episode of Heartbeats in Perfect Sync, London's Pulse. There's a handful of things to get out of the way before I go and give you the what happened last time. First, if you didn't already know, you're listening to Euphoria AP, which is around on a pretty wide range of socials, so I understand. Whoa, I'm getting. Uh, Hold on a second. Check 1, 2. Hello, can I be heard? Cool, cool, cool. For some reason, I got a loop in my ears, but it's fine. Are we good? Please, somebody else say something so I can hear y'all. Okay, good, good, good. Y'all nodding. I was like, I need to make sure that I can hear you, otherwise I'm gonna go spare. Right. No worries, no worries. We'll wind it back. Uh, as sorry about that, there was a little bit of interference, but as I was saying, you're tuning into Euphoria AP, available in a pretty wide range of social media, so I heard, especially these days on Blue Sky and not elsewhere. Funny that. This show is also sponsored by the UK Tabletop Industry Network, and we're here for Black History Month. Black excellence is all year, but this time, y'all have no excuses. Before we go and do the thing and tell you about the various stuff that happened last time, just to let you know, this is, let's say, a rated 15 show. There's some drama, there's some heartbreak, and in particular, in terms of content warnings today, there is a soupçon of demonic possession. If that ain't your vibe, then don't worry. Protect your heart and come back another time. We'll still be here. But for what happened on last time, we followed people who are protecting London. And unsurprisingly, I don't mean the police. I mean these people that have been called to the nature of protecting London from the bad vibes. After all cities are just a roving range of emotion, and sometimes that emotion can build up in a difficult way. But we have ordinary people with the power of their smartphones and the gigantic weapons they can pull from within to defeat what is known as the Pulse. And we last time followed 4 in particular. We met Torea Offshoot, a teenage courier who's been shipping around parcels that have relatively interesting things in them, with even more interesting deadlines. We have Loki, just Loki, I love him mononym, who is a 90s retro enthusiast who has loved too deeply, forgotten some important things, and is now trying to find themselves in a way that might not be the healthiest. We have Calm Latreya, unflappable taxi driver, has the knowledge, but there's a lot of things still to uncover underneath London streets. That can always be a surprise here and there. And finally, we have Rumbi Kuranga, who is a fashion designer and person who likes to get stuff done. With a trusty tape measure whip and an even more whip smart sense of fashion. She was the MVP in making sure that the pulse that they saw last time was handled in the London Aquarium next to the Shrek experience. A strange shadow monster was appearing behind the glass. In fact, any reflective surface, desperate to be freed. They were able to both handle the pulse by freeing it through Roomby's glasses, but not without one of the aquarium tanks breaking and some hearts breaking along the way. The parcel that Torreya was carrying had an interesting thing inside, a VHS tape. Maybe not necessarily from this time, because it was something that Loki remembered as something that always wanted to make, but never quite managed to. And unfortunately ruined by salty water from the aquarium, the true information of what was on that VHS is never going to be found. But that doesn't mean we can't find it if we search. And so, with all the weirdness explained to you, I return you to Heartbeats in Perfect Sync Session 2, as seen on screen. And indeed, as seen on screen, we see a much more action movie cut of the streets of London. A helicopter roves past as the camera zooms in with aggressive speed on Tower Bridge as we see a battle against the Pulse already in its final act, and things have already gotten desperate. But the finer details of it, I will leave to the table to solve by asking a handful of very leading questions. We're going to start with Chucky. So Loki has not managed to remember everything about the film they never got to make, but there was a big emotion behind the thesis of the film that you do remember. What does Loki remember as the emotion behind her magnum opus?
So I think the emotion behind it was probably just like discovery and like curiosity, like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of euphoria at
Mm-hmm,
the end
mm-hmm.
of the day.
I like curiosity as a big theme behind it. Excellent. So we see this pulse that Loki is in pursuit of. Still with the horns, still the vibrant 90s energy, but with that crueler kind of demeanor in quick pursuit. I suppose riding atop your trusty skateboard.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Give me a rundown description of that skateboard again for the audience if they don't remember what it looked like.
Yeah, so it is a classic series Ben 10 themed skateboard. On the bottom, it's got like a deck with tons of the different aliens that he can turn into. And then on the top, it just says Ben 10 and like neon green. It's a very garish skateboard, and it's a little too small because it is actually a kid's skateboard that for some reason Loki has never got rid of or changed.
Yeah, and despite the board being so small, the sheer tenacity and presence that you are emanating as you ride on it, chasing down this pulse. Humanoid, it has it almost looks a bit kind of like a lemur-esque, really large eyes as it's kind of looking around, very kind of like webbed, thick, kind of like toes as it's skittering down Tower Bridge as you are in hot pursuit. So, Lloyd, Loki is looking for curiosity and is chasing down various pulse that feels like it's feeding on that particular emotion. This pulse is feeding off an emotion similar to that, but it's not quite the same thing. What drives this pulse instead, if not curiosity?
It's hubris. It is
Mm,
not the idea of knowing something new, it's that expecting the things you know to be exactly what you expect.
mm-hmm,
It is the idea that they're like, I know what's coming and I already know it. This is just a pre-forewarning.
mm-hmm,
There's no real excitement for it because they've assumed they know exactly what that is, whereas they don't. That's the
mm.
difference.
And manipulating the hubris. It has a degree of what you would probably describe as reality warping, insofar as you know when in other pieces of media when somebody is stricken with misfortune and things coincidentally happen in a way that would be out of their favor. That is currently occurring as this pulse is skittering down the bridge, weaving among people. We see somebody being baited into playing a shell game on the bridge and betting a large amount of money. And she says, "It's in the left one." And the hustler smiles wide, knowing that she's got her and she's going to be taking like 200 quid from this tourist, lifts up the cup, and there is the ball underneath as the pulse skitters behind. "Oh, what do you mean? I was supposed to..." Meanwhile, a car who is kind of like just part of this traffic jam, and in a bid of trying to go and release some steam, just in the anger of knowing they're going to be late to this like power lunch meeting, honks their horn, and as the pulse skips past, there is almost a shockwave ripple from the sheer volume and force of the horn, pushing some of the other cars aside and knocking people over. Even as Loki is in pursuit and you're about to go and lean down and grab your hands around this eldritch lemur looking thing, a tiny rock kind of like chips from the pavement and falls underneath the skateboard, and it doesn't knock you off, but it makes you wiggle as you have to kind of rebalance yourself, and it manages to extend the gap away. Tendai, all Pulse have a plot to try and establish a way to get whatever emotion that they need, that they feed on. What is this Pulse's low-level plot? It's not a big deal. It's a minion. What's its low-level plot to draw out the emotion of hubris from the public? What's its evil plan?
So it will pick on those who are verging on the side of tipping into negativity by almost being the devil on their shoulder. So as it's going by, it's going to whisper essentially things that they desire and how they can get them, even if how they can get them are very hard to do. People will think, "Oh yeah, I can totally do that. Yeah, that is so feasible, not a problem." And that's how it's feeding on people.
And they make some really bad choices, and in the end, it just gets even though we have the kind of like chaos and noise of London and the people being disturbed on the bridge, we see it wind up somebody who's like walking with their partner, and it whispers into his ear like a little forked tongue, little like a alien like mouth within a mouth tongue. "You should dump him. You can do better." Somebody DM'd you the other day, didn't it? That guy from high school. He's real handsome now. Loki, you're gaining. He's just. It seems that the Pulse has decided to that feeding is more important than escaping you, and this is your kind of opportunity to gather in as this man turns to his partner and is about to go and say something that he'll regret later. What do you do?
Save the gays.
Yeah, I want to like
Yes.
skate along and just be like, "No home wrecking here, no."
Absolutely.
You guys are perfect for each other. I ship you so much.
They're real people. Well, no. Well,
You could ship real people.
In the confusion, this man who was about to make a terrible mistake blinks in surprise about being like talked to in London while they're trying to go somewhere. And doesn't manage to get out what they were saying and forgets the thought. And the lemur thing hisses at you. Now, Ruben, it feels that this is the moment where Loki can finally get his hands on this Pulse. But like a piece of American action cinema, something bombastic interrupts. What is it?
I think the sort of like misfortune energy that the Pulse emanates throughout this, like we're currently like where are we exactly? Like
on one of the big bridges that crosses the Thames.
Oh, one of the big bridges. I want there to be like a hot, like what is a British equivalent of a hot dog stand?
Sorry. Oh, like a hot. Yeah, there's lots of hot chestnut stands. Weirdly enough, on those bridges.
Okay. Old woman is there, on in front of the stand. Devil energy on the shoulder goes, "No, it doesn't matter that you're allergic. They're gonna be good."
Oh no.
And the woman goes, "I'll take 2 eggs." And then we fast forward where there's like a crowd sort of like forming, trying to not like this. She isn't going into shock. She's berserking. She is sort of like action grandma, like activated through the power of like allergies and energies.
Okay, I love this. So, in this moment, as you are Loki, you're staring down. You're in a position to go and grab this pulse, and a person flies by the side of your head and bounces harmlessly, weirdly enough, along the road. In a kind of like oof oof ouch skids on the pavement. It clearly hurts, but they are not damaged in a serious way.
What? Okay, this is gonna be a bit more difficult than I thought. Can I try to still like apprehend the pulse?
Yes, absolutely. Now, because this is a new session, everybody's heart rates have reset. For those who do not remember, we have a dice pool system in this game. Your heart rate, your emotional state, which goes from 1 to normally 10, but sometimes you can extend to the maximum level. In Loki's case, you have a maximum heart rate of 11, as I recall.
Yep.
But since this is the start of a new session, it's reset to 5. So in an instance where an outcome is uncertain, we roll our heart rate trying to beat a specific number of successes. Weirdly enough, it is 3 hits to see if you can apprehend this pulse.
Okay. I'm gonna use my breakthrough as well on this.
Yes, because you are heartbroken, you've gained a new tag that you can use repeatedly as long as you are heartbroken.
Yep. So let's see. Ooh. So that is exactly 3 successes.
Excellent. Okay. How do you manage to go and apprehend the pulse as it continues to give this action grandma increasingly bad ideas?
I like to think that Loki would like hop off the skateboard and then kick the skateboard so that it like shoots forwards and trips the pulse up. And then they're like rolling along slowly on top of the board. And they're just gonna walk alongside and put their foot down on top and just be like, "Not today."
It hisses at you, it flails behind those kind of like soft, sticky, padded paws it was using to like move around the space. It emerges claws instead and starts ineffectively like swiping at the air, trying to get your ankles. You've obtained this pulse, and as you stare at it and really understand its energy, for you are infected by the pulse as well, and there is some kind of strange understanding between the two of you, and you realize that this is not a pulse that feeds on curiosity like you were hoping. What'd you do?
You're not like me. Well, I'm just trying to find new things. Here you are, trying to ruin things. And I don't think that can be. Yeah.
It feels like you're gonna like hit it with the skateboard.
Well, because it's on top of the skateboard, I'm imagining like
crush it.
yeah, just like kind of like a sick like jump up and then just like slam down on it.
You leap up into the air. It's dramatic. The camera moves up. You are in a silhouette against the sun as you descend down in this kind of big pile drive attack. Does it have a cool name?
The Devil's Horns, and I'll attack it with the horns.
And before you make impact, or you get super close to the ground, and the screen goes black with a big kind of like anime sparking like flash. And as we see the street again, there is a person standing there, tall, in a tan jacket and pinstripe trousers. And they, with a hand, have managed to almost parry the attack, leaving the pulse inert on the ground, but undestroyed. Stop,
What are you doing?
evildoer!
Evildoer? Do you know what this thing is?
Oh, yes, I do know. It's a manifestation of the darkness within people's hearts. Come on. I've done Paranormal Activity 101, darling. It's just, I know it's in you as well.
But at least I'm dealing with some of it.
Well, the city does enlist a number of us. He's like playing with a fingernail while not making direct eye contact at you. The city does enlist a number of us to make sure that when there are harsh vibes, the noise is silenced. And to my eyes, you seem like part of the noise. With the flick of a hand, and there's like another almost whip crack with the screen going dark and a flash again, and the pulse on the ground is like as it evaporates. He stole your kill.
Bitch. Damn it.
Well, I'm a sporting sort, though, you see. I do know that there is somewhere deep in there an ordinary mortal man. So, how about I give you the count to 10? You can skedaddle.
Are you trying to get rid of me?
I mean, he cracks his neck one way and the other. I can get rid of you.
Who are you?
Oh, good question. And I think he takes like a Super Sentai pose. In the tan jacket and pinstripe suits. I am the shining superstar of the city, able to handle any issue and solve any problem. I am Vox Populi. He smiles at you. There's a little ding.
I hate you already. And then they're just gonna like skateboard away as fast as
Please.
they possibly can.
Perfect. He watches you go. 10, 9. And at that instance, we get like a small rewind in time. At the other end of Tower Bridge, we see our other 3 heroes sprinting, following up on the previous hint that they got from their smartphones about a pulse being on the loose. As we see Torea, Colm, and Rimby running along the bridge, how about you each give me a brief description of what y'all look like as you're pounding pavement to catch up?
I think
Ruben, go first.
Sure. I think Torea, we're doing physical descriptions. Just let's get into adversary enemies. 17 years old, wearing like a big parka coat, white with like the sun on the hood emblazoned on it, and the hood's off, gunning for sort of like really sprinting in a way that looks sort of like, oh, this is like exerting oneself, because on his mind, just like, gotta get to Loki, gotta save them.
Funnily enough, you're following the lead on this pulse that's been causing misfortune. You've not seen Loki all day. This mission, Loki has not been around.
Never mind. I'm just gunning.
Rimby.
So Rumbi is dressed almost the complete opposite to what they kind of looked like the last time. So this time they're wearing this obscenely big kind of fluffy black gown. It's like it's one of those sulky dresses. So it's got like puff sleeves, tiered skirt, and this thing is massive, and their hair is big, curly. They look like they're about to go have a picnic in a haunted forest, and they are striding along at quite an obscene speed in the platform boots that they're wearing, and they just like clomp, clomp, like just on a mission. Everything is just bouncing, hair, the dress, and they're just kind of walking down, kind of like they're smiling at people walking by, but they look quite intimidating in what they're wearing.
And last but not by no means least, Colm, what you look like, how you running?
So Corm is like in full sprint, and he's like leaping over like a mini barrier on the tower bridge. Like he's like got a tandem where he's sort of leaping over it. He's a little clumsy when he's on his feet. He's much better in a vehicle, but he's wearing what he considers a uniform: khaki trousers, normal shoes, a shirt, and a sweater vest. And he's got his hand on his cap to keep it there while he's running along.
You catch up to the scene, and even though you don't see Loki, you can almost, especially in the way that this episode's audio is mixed, hear the sound of the skateboard rolling away, even though you can't see them. You do, however, see a tall man in a tan jacket and pinstripe trousers. Ah, hello, fellow heroes of London.
I don't like it. I just turned to everyone else. I don't like this.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Oh, sorry. We've not introduced. Big ding smile. I'm Vox Populi. Offers a hand. Dark-skinned man. As he offers you a smile, and it's strange. You look at him, and there is like when you see an actor in a movie and you can't place who they are, but you know who they are.
Ooh.
Sure. Okay.
Offers a hand for you to shake.
I'll shake it because it'd be rude not to. And I'm like, I'm sorry, have we met?
I do not believe we've been on an adventure together yet, sir. But I am in the mood for collaborations. We could have a co-starring here.
Could you give us 1 minute? Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna turn around to the two and be like, "Hey, Tenda, is that one of your friends?"
I'd recognize someone who looked that stylish, quite frankly. It's not ringing a bell. And like Rumi's just gonna kind of like lean back. It's gonna be so obvious that like, and kind of eye them up and down and be like, the face. I don't know. It feels familiar, but I can't place it.
He waggles when you make eye contact with him. He waggles an eyebrow and like turns a little bit. God, this man's jawline. What the fuck?
Like,
Can I?
That is
Can
like
cut glass.
Can I roll my heartbeat to see if I can like place or figure out what this guy's deal is?
Sure. Also, I forgot to say, Chucky, since you succeeded in your role, would Loki's heart rate go up, down, or stay the same?
Up.
Sure thing. It's now 6. Yeah, you may roll your heart rate. It's opposed.
Oh, okay. He's trying to hide it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's gonna be 5 for me, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 2 hits.
1 hit. Would you like to move his heart rate up or down, or your heart rate up or down? You succeeded. So when you succeed, just for the audience's sake, when it's an opposed roll, you get to choose whether you change your own heart rate or the person you compete against by the difference.
So I want to get under his skin a little, like he's getting under ours.
Mm-hmm.
So heart rate up.
Sure, noted. You try and understand who this person is, and as you look, you swear there is some film grain, like a little bit of flicker or like his movements are not quite at 60 frames per second.
Do you play in children's movies?
I am a star, but I'm yet to appear on the silver screen like that. But maybe one day, if I tell of my exploits and all of that.
Your
And that
exploit.
rings interesting. You've not. Have any of you tried to talk to mundane people about you fighting supernatural things?
Yes,
I think so.
I probably definitely have.
Yeah.
I would have.
It doesn't go well. It's almost when people want to try and understand something that they don't understand, they will make a mental leap to kind of fill in the gap and make it make sense. So they have every time assumed they've either misheard you, assumed you're talking about a TV or a movie or a video game, that you're playing a prank. It just so happened to be April Fool's or Halloween when you told somebody about it by sheer coincidence. People tend to not believe you.
In which case,
Okay.
I'll be like, "Hi, look, everyone. I know this is weird and sudden, but we could really use the help. Like, this is the third pulse we've managed to get where everything's been too late. We ain't able to catch up to them. We're missing a player. We could really use the help right now, at least until we can figure out how to get Loki back."
Okay. I trust your judgment. Yeah.
Oh, really? Thank you. How about you, Tendai?
Yeah, I think we do need a hand, but any funny business, and we jump him.
Believe me, I work in thriller, not comedy, darling. He puts a hand inside of the tan jacket and gives you a business card. It's embossed. Very fine. Proper American Psycho shit. It looks expensive.
I'm gonna look at the grain of the card, give it a flick, and be like, okay.
Can I roll to have a business card as a quarter to see
You
if
don't need to roll. You can just have a business card.
But I want it to be in the vein of that scene in American Psycho.
Oh, okay. So you want to kind of one up him? Okay, roll your heart rate.
I want.
Let's roll Latoya's card.
I
Roll
want
your heart rate. I mean, this is low. I would say it's only the one hit. I guess.
All right. Still 5 for me.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Vox Popula's card. That's 2 hits.
Okay, so you do it. You produce a business card. You have one on you.
That was
Excellent
not a dice.
dice tray.
How was that dice tray?
It's great. It's I think the business card is like a form signature essentially.
Mm-hmm.
There's a sort of faded out dragon, like an ice dragon. And on top of it, it's Torea offshoot, courier service, and then I think there has to be a quote from Gears of War 3.
Wow.
But I don't know which one.
Was there even any dialogue in Gears of War 3? I could not tell you.
Ah!
Yeah.
Shoot him!
I get it. No, sorry.
No!
Just not written in the full text.
The machismo.
Yeah, look, I didn't know you were a
is off
voice
the
actor.
charts.
Sorry, what was that?
No, it's my second gig.
What was that, Nathan? Sorry.
The machismo is off the charts with your business card, and his is also very masculine, but in a different way. Arumbi, you as you feel up the card, you notice that it's of a similar kind of card stock that you'd get inexpensive department stores where they spray perfume on card that will absorb the scent.
Okay.
Oh,
there's a very tasteful cologne on this business card.
I'm actually gonna straight up give it a sniff.
Mm-hmm.
Power move.
Hey, if you for the real ones out there, if you know what a DS and Durga perfume smells like, it's one of those. Masculine and music themed. This one reminds you of the Wild West.
Oh, okay. I'm imagining tumbleweed, bit of sand. Okay, got it.
I have other duties to take care of. After all, we do have mundane lives that we need to maintain. But see you later, my chaps. Smile.
Have a good day.
Yes, later.
He.
One moment. Have you seen a friend of ours? Maybe.
Oh, actually, he's in the middle of like climbing onto the side of the bridge and looks at you. Yes.
Have you seen a friend? Also, are you going to jump off a bridge?
What can I say? I'm an action star. Ding.
Oh, superhero landing. Let's go.
Ruby,
In the
call the
water?
cops. Call the police now.
Oh no!
You
this
had
will
a
be
question
fun.
about a person, or am I?
No.
Good to go.
I just was wondering if you've seen
Have you seen our friend?
a friend, Loki.
Like the Norse god with an eyebrow raise.
Mm,
Mischievous, like the god. Doesn't quite look like the god. He's
With horns, maybe?
she has a skateboard.
and a skateboard, a Ben 10 one.
They still have that?
Oh. I'm sorry to say if you weren't already aware, but it seems that the Pulsars claimed them already.
What?
Well, they've clearly pulled too deep. You know.
Where are they? Where are they?
Oh, I gave them a 10-second head start. I think they fled.
Wait, you're going
Which
after
way
them?
did they go?
Oh, no. I just wanted to put the frighteners on them. I have better things to do. But they were off in some other direction. Over the Point's bridge yonder, but obviously with the time having passed, who knows where Loki could be at this point.
Damn.
But unfortunately, as we are honor bound as pure protectors of this city to eradicate the pulse wherever we must find it, if your friend has been claimed by the darkness in her own heart, then I'm afraid it might not go for him so well if we meet again. Smile.
I want to sort of like tug on his pants while he's trying to like climb up the bridge and just tell him, if you ever touch Loki or do something to him, you'll be found in the river below this bridge.
He looks at you, and his smile does not leave his face, but he just stares at you. And you don't need to roll from this, but it hurts.
Yeah,
It's like trying to.
It was definitely.
To rare offshoot, have you almost died before?
Oh jeez.
What a question. Backstory. I want to roll for this.
Sure.
Do it.
A failure. Yes, I've almost died before.
There is something that just kind of happens to your heart rate, like, or the hair on the back of your hands goes up when there is an inevitable amount of pain that could happen to you, and you recognize it could happen. Nothing happens.
Right.
He stands on the bridge edge, looks at you, leans backwards. The cape, the tan jacket opens into a wingsuit, and like a 007 action movie star, he flits away.
Yeah, I think Torre just like stands there, like mouth agape, knowing, kind of like realizing something just passed me by or was misdirected as a show of something. And it just goes, respect.
Nice. We move. Oh, so go ahead.
We need to find Loki. We can't let him get him.
I mean, if we ask him really nicely, maybe he'll tell us when he finds him.
I think it's going to be a chase, right?
Look, we need the numbers. Loki isn't right now. We have to do the most practical thing because the city's in danger. If Loki becomes a danger, we can deal with it. But until then, I get it. Listen. I get it. We want to help him, and I'm with them. I'm with you 100%. But if they become a danger, either we have to deal with it, or that weird person has to either. One of us has to deal, and we have to come to that conclusion. Until then, I'm happy to help search. But if it becomes too much, we deal. All right?
Yeah,
We do.
agreed.
But it doesn't have to be
Um,
dealing. It can be. We can deal.
We
Right.
do what we must for the city and nothing else.
Okay.
Now,
there's definitely going to be an expression of hesitance on Ruby's face at that one. Kind of like,
I'm loving it. I'm loving the interpersonal drama. We move from the scene, and some time passes. It turns out that Loki, if he doesn't want to be found, is not easily found. So, to a degree, you can't put all of your lives on hold while trying to look for one person in a very large city of, I want to say 7 million people? 10? I should check. I should have checked. But
8 billion.
it's definitely more than 10 million. I have a feeling. Anyway, so as a result, we're going to enter into a pseudo downtime where we're going to get some little vignettes from each of you as some of the stuff you do before inevitably your phone rings again with your next pulse having been discovered. It could be that you are fighting pulse on your own time and that's what you want your scene to be. It can be anything, but we're going to go around each of you about what you do before the next plot relevant call comes in. I'm happy for whoever to go first, or I'll pick on someone.
I'm happy to go first.
What'd you get up to?
So Rumbi is going to be creating some clothes for someone who's not the most confident person. They tend to want to shy away from kind of being in the spotlight, and this is their only chance they get to attend a lovely just kind of like evening ball. They love going to Ren fairs or things like that, and it's a fantasy ball, and they want something that is extravagant and big and loud, something that shows them for the personality that they would typically have in their home. And Rumbi is kind of like rushing around them, like turning them this way and that way, and you can see that they've got like pins actually in their like sleeves of their own dress as they're like pinning them in places. And is this like big rainbow sort of like butterfly gown that they have made for this person.
Okay.
They're just kind of like standing there like beaming, and they're like, turn around, look, you look great.
Yeah, we see your client move to this full length mirror in your like atelier in your studio and give a look, and their face lights up when they see how beautiful the dress is, and then they look at themselves and their face falls again. Oh, I don't know, babes. I don't know if this is really like, like me. Like, it's super pretty. You did an excellent job, and you definitely like you've gone above and beyond what I was able to pay you. This is so much more than what I could. But like, this isn't. I don't know. It doesn't seem. It's not matching.
Believe me, the way I create dresses is it just comes from the person. I don't create these out of my own ideas. I'm not going to be wearing this gown, you are. This is the essence that you bring, whether you think you do or not. This is what I've been experiencing. Anytime you've been in here, whether we were looking at the fabrics, even the thread colors, you wanted brightness, you wanted to make a stand. And I think this is you. You wanted to go out big. Your words exactly were go big and go home. And honey, you will not be going home alone.
I don't know. Maybe I had a big mouth. I guess because I was speaking big, but now that the reality of it is here, it's kind of oh my god, oh my days. So I'd love for you to go and roll your heart rate about this, please. To meet or exceed 2 hits.
Okie dokie.
2 hits for babes.
2 hits for babes, and I've got 2 hits. I got a 6 and a 5.
Beautiful. Are you raising, lowering, or keeping your heart rate the same?
I am going to raise it, and I would like to use one of my. Could I use one of my kind of like abilities for this particular circumstance?
Interesting. So, in terms of your aspects, the little bracketed tags that are on your
Yes.
character sheet, you invoke those. If you want to get the dice benefits, you invoke those before you roll and get to roll 2 extra dice. You've already succeeded, so you don't need to roll any extra. But your tags are just generally part of who you are. So, if you want to narratively
definitely.
invoke them, you can do it at any time you like.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm just going to take my client's hand, and we're going to go over to the makeup station, and I'll get them to sit down. I'm going to get a cape, put it over so the dress doesn't get ruined. And as I sit down, I'm going to say, people do not find me easily, and those who do are special. Just like you are special, you are unique. You try to live to society's standards as to what you should look like, how you should behave, and you forget we've had Bellinis until 4 a.m. in this exact same studio. You are smart, you are intelligent, but you're also funny. You like excitement, and this dress is more you than any of those grayish Marks and Spencer pantsuits I've seen you wear day in and day out. You are pleasers and platform heels. You're not sensible Clark shoes.
And as this this inspiration speech is going, the soundtrack of the room like soars this big emotional string number as the camera starts to move around you, and eventually it goes into like montage. We can no longer hear your voice anymore as we are doing the makeup, and we see her in the mirror, and it looks radiant, and she's smiling, and you realize that wait, you were speaking, but you couldn't hear yourself speak. That's strange. And I didn't have the stereo playing. Why can I hear? And you think about it and it stops. And you are standing in front of the mirror with her, and she looks at herself with the self-acceptance gained. And in a lower frame rate than one might expect, not necessarily that one that Roomby would notice. She turns around to you, the dress kind of swirling with a kind of after motion behind her as she looks at you and says, "Oh my days, actually, you've spoken to my heart. I love this, and you've given me so much, you know? I feel like I can do anything now." And there is a slit in the large dress that you didn't sew in, but is now there. As she moves it aside, and you see that there are a number of long, sharp-looking throwing knives that are round her leg as a garter belt. As she's like, "And I'm going to tell him what I really think of him," as she dashes towards the window, flings it open with the dress, leaps out of the window. We see an external shot to the building. You're on the 6th floor as this lady in a rainbow dress and apparently a large number of flowing knives descends into the afternoon.
Ruby's just gonna lean out and be like, I'll just email you the invoice. Yeah. Have a great ball.
And your vision slowly dims into blackness as as the camera undims somewhere else to one of the other 3 of you.
I think Torea has been using the easier sort of like the packages he has to deliver with the longest sort of like time limits, sort of like the easiest packages. He's been intentionally letting it come to the time limit and then just using his ability destructive prophecy to sort of like try to figure out where Loki has gone. That's kind of what he's been doing. He's been sabotaging his own work because he just feels horrible.
Okay. We can render that mechanically, actually. So, in that instance, can you please read the ability of Destructive Prophecy for me?
I can. Letting go of possessions and memories can bless you with great insight. Mark one of your aspects as used and name an object or character. The GM describes a vision of where that target is and an ominous circumstance it's involved in.
Okay. So, since you're specifically like shirking your job to try and gain insight, it feels like you would expend your career, your job tag to do that. So that's cool.
I think so too.
Let's see. With that done, with you, what does it look like when Destructive Prophecy for you happens?
It looks like holding the package for hours, getting to tremble near the end. Just like this is just like a devotion almost. And then just kind of like opening the package, and then whenever sort of like the parcel wrapping comes undone, there's like it falls to the ground and nothing is in there. It was all wrapping paper.
And as you do so, I think as you open the parcel, and your phone goes off. Delivery unsuccessful. A penalty charge has been taken from your account. As there is a vision that happens to you as you open this parcel. You do not see a thing inside. Instead, you see, and it happens in like sepia tone, like old timey.
Okay.
Loki, you are not currently here, but you will be here. Where are you?
So currently, I think Loki is probably hiding out, like, at one of their like favorite places. So it's probably some sort of like, well, they're probably at their store. Actually, they're probably at their Blockbuster, which has somehow survived through the death of that store. It's like almost like a portal to the 90s, and they're probably hiding in there, just like with everything like barred up. It almost looks like how a Blockbuster would look now. They're like boarded up as they try to basically hide out and hope that Vox Populi does not find them.
And that ominous circumstance. Again, this is a thing that you're not currently there, but will happen in the future. Despite the front door being locked, it unlocks. We don't hear anything in this kind of silent movie style, but as we see the door open, and we can't see the person exactly, as the light from the street and it being very dark inside this building casts them in shadow, but they are very tall, and they appear to be carrying a VHS of some kind.
Ooh. So I also experience this.
Yes, you see this old-timey
this
silent movie vision of
Gotcha.
where Loki is, question mark?
I text this to Colm and Rumbi, not using the group chat that Loki is also in.
I think you already know each other well enough to know where the video store is, so you'd be able to find it.
I also want to quickly look sort of like at the penalty charge as well.
We're not going to deal in fine amounts of money, but this sucks. You'll survive, but you were going to buy yourself something nice, and you definitely can't now.
Yeah, Jordan's looking filthy.
Hey, cleaning it isn't necessarily hard, but sending it to an expert and who does it right, that can cost. Okay. We move on to either Colm or Loki.
I'll go next.
Sure.
Make it fair. I actually have in my house. I've got like a shed because I live on the outskirts of London. I drive in, And in my shed, I have a board with the map of London itself on, and I'm mapping on it all the places we've seen or heard that Loki has gone to.
Mm.
Because the city's not told me where he is yet, but I'm gearing myself up for it.
Mm-hmm.
So in the meantime, I'm doing boring ass detective work, even though I have no detective skills whatsoever, just trying to figure out where on earth he could possibly be so I can get to them. At least maybe if I got to them first and I have to do what I have to do, then the rest of them don't have to do it. Is what I'm thinking.
Miss Thing must have a zone 1 to 7 rail card because she is everywhere.
They are definitely jumping on the bendy bus. I swear.
Not on the DLR, weirdly enough. Once you get out that way, once you start heading towards like the financial district, no sightings.
Weird. That's strange.
One
Just
sighting
using
at the
the other
Excel
cosplayers.
Center, otherwise
Yeah.
unseen.
Too broke for the DLR? That's really odd.
You hear your doorbell go. You've got like a second like buzzer in your shed so you can hear if somebody's at the door.
I roll my eyes, I like flip it around and push it back, and I'll run towards the door and I'll unlock it and pull it open without checking who it is, because that's how we open doors now.
Hey, it's an old friend of yours. So you know, it's not somebody who's chasing you down. It is your old friend Solomon type.
Oh, Solomon, mate, come on in.
Oh, hello, old chap. It's good to see you.
You too, mate.
Makes his
You wanna
way
drink or
in.
something?
Weirdly enough, even though you kind of go way back and kind of come from the same part of London, his parents, who one the dad in particular, who had a very strong like a Guyanese accent, and unfortunately was of the belief that because he went through so many particular struggles being not sounding like he was from here, he very heavily instilled in his son to maintain a good RP, and it has stuck regardless of who else was in your neighborhood. It's so good to see you.
As is for you. Now, do you want a cup of tea or would you like a coffee?
I would love a builder's, thank you.
All right, I'll sort you out.
Strong
And I'll
enough for
head
the
it up,
teaspoon
I'll
to stand up in, you know?
Yes, I know. You don't keep telling me. I've known you for years. You always have it like this. I don't know why. Just tastes weird. Just maybe a little bit of milk.
Just the sugar, please.
All right.
Who
What
puts,
brings you
like,
over?
4 teaspoons of sugar in their tea? Like, bro.
Get in there. I'll bring him back his tea because I probably bought the kettle boiling anyway because I live in England. What can I get? What are you here for?
Oh, I don't know. I was just checking in with you, you know?
Oh, mate, like I've been going through some time. There's been a lot of stuff to do. I have a lot of work to get through. It's exhausting, but it's just nice to see someone friendly for once, you know?
Oh, well, it's I know it's not really the done thing these days to just show up to people unannounced. You've got to plan it like 3 months in advance.
No,
but
no,
we're
no.
adults,
Still
you know.
with family
Yeah.
anytime.
That's really sweet of you. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
It's you being busy though.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess cabbing keeps you going at all hours, but you managed to handle that perfectly well before. Is there something else? And he looks at you.
Honestly, I have a side gig that I'm trying to do to raise a little bit more money so I can live a little bit more comfortably. It
Oh,
doesn't
sure.
pay well, but it keeps me sane of mind. And at the moment, I'm going through a little bit of a time. I have a coworker whom I don't know whether I will be with that coworker for any much longer, or if that coworker won't be with us any much longer. And that's kind of been on my mind at the moment. I'm trying to figure a way to get past it. But at the same time, this coworker is loved by everyone else. So if I mess this up, they might also have a problem with it, and it's gonna get really complicated. I don't want to deal with that the way it is. And I'm just trying to figure out an easy way to solve the problem.
He listens to your explanation, sips the tea slowly, and there is we get him in side shot, looking at you like across the living room, and says, well, colleague circumstances can always be a bit of a bugbear. But if they're giving you difficulty, well, you don't owe anybody your time, you know? If it's
No.
making your life hard, you don't need to go and break yourself for other people like that.
Yeah, you're right.
And the camera cuts to you as you respond, you looking in the other direction back at him.
Mhm.
The camera cuts again, and we see the other side of the living room, and he's now the shot is like matching, so he was looking in the same direction you are, and you feel a little bit dizzy, like your perspective has moved around in a way that doesn't visibly make sense. I mean, I wouldn't tell you what to do, but in circumstances like this, and you hear a low hum from somewhere, like like an 808 or like a very low like cello string. I think the neighbor plays in an orchestra. Maybe they're rehearsing, but there's a low, quiet hum that builds oh so slightly as he's like, and well. Ultimately, I would say that if your colleagues are giving you difficulty, I mean, I'm not in the same world you are, not quite like that, but you could always come to me. I would be happy to help however I can.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit distracted. Yeah, I appreciate that. You're a good friend. You've always been a good friend to me.
I try to
No
be.
matter the
I ask
time.
a lot of you for lifts and things like that, and I realize it's a pain, but I never really learned to drive, you know?
It's family. If I can do it, I can do it. For you, anything.
Mhm. And he finishes his cup of tea and stands up and makes his way across the room and puts his hand on your shoulder, and you swear the thrumming is getting louder. And for you, well, I'd kill the darkness in anyone's heart for you. The music stops.
Thank you.
He smiles. It's a pleasant smile. Did he get his teeth whitened recently? I'd have other things to do, so I just wanted to make sure you're okay, and it seems like it was a good time to check in with you. It's so good to see you.
Yes, I think I'm fine. Are you all right?
Oh, you know, motivated, I guess. I saw an interesting movie lately. You know, you get inspired in the strangest places.
That makes sense. I started squatting him out. What was it then?
Oh, it was this indie thing at the BFI. You know, the name. This is me out of character now, trying to think of a good name for the movie. I apologize.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Hmm. It's sorry. It's one of those really long movie titles. It was something along the lines of the things you have to do to protect those you love. I thought it would be one of those sappy kind of romantic things, but I don't know. It's very radicalizing.
Is that what you've been quoting all day?
It's what made me give you a call. You know, I thought about my loved ones, I suppose.
Well, it's a heck of a good movie. I'll see you later, Solomon, all right?
Mind how you go. He steps
You
outside
too.
and waves to you, and he moves away. The house feels very quiet without a soundtrack. Elsewhere, Loki,
Yes.
what are you doing?
Um, could we say that Loki also went to go see that film?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right.
After all, the BFI is one of Loki's favorite locations in the South Bank.
Hmm.
And I feel like Loki would be very interested in a film like that.
Mm. You go to the BFI. Do you go incognito or as you are? Do you care?
I think they would be trying to disguise themselves.
You go. You wear something from the mid 2000s. You've never. You got some juicy couture on.
Escandalo.
You know, some proper McBling stuff.
Yeah.
Proper Christina Aguilera dirty like album cover.
Yes, tank top, chaps.
Oh no, not
What a time to be alive. You don't have to take that heat.
No, I think that's definitely what they were.
Yeah, chat is on it. Ed Hardy-esque juicy. Absolutely, you know the era. And we sit down in the cinema, and the camera never sees the movie screen. We just kind of see the light flickering on the audience and just kind of like the audio. And you look through the list of stuff that's supposed to be on. There's supposed to be a pretty big like film festival on soon, and as like a preview, some of the like debut indie works are being displayed as like a taster for some of the big stuff. There's a unfortunately, the poster that had like the info of all of the stuff going on has been damaged. It's been graffitied by some of the people from the skating area. Since they're quite next to each other. And there's this big smear of bright pink paint that covers the lower part of the kind of like info board. So the Q&A of the person who put this movie together is not visible, but the things you would do to help to save the people you love. The lengths you go to save the people you love, I think, is probably we're gonna lock that in.
Is there like a tagline?
Sorry.
Sort of like
I do like the idea. Have you seen The Lengths You Go? Oh, it's such a great film.
No, you gotta say the full title every single time. You say the lengths you go, everyone's like, "What film's that? I've never heard of that one."
There's people trying.
I will say, even though it's like it's described as a neo-American action movie, but there is no tagline, despite.
Ooh, how blasé.
And it definitely has the makings in its score of it being an action movie. The diehards, the Terminators, era, but it's modernized or quote unquote modernized in a way that makes it a bit more current. Actually, let's take this moment to kind of go around the table a bit and add like a feature to the lengths you go.
Oh yes, oh yeah.
Yeah, what's a detail about this neo-American action movie?
Features a features like a horse race for some reason.
It's like it moves into Western at one parts of it, and so you have like a whole cohort of cowboys riding through Times Square in like future New York.
Oh,
it's a blend of old and new.
Oh, absolutely.
Love that.
Wait,
yeah, go ahead.
It's entirely in black and white, except for characters who are 10 minutes away from dying.
Damn. There's some I'm getting mad at that just from imagining that movie. I don't know why it's upsetting me.
And there was a weird tension as we see the protagonist trying to save people, and it seems that they are not aware of when people are marked for death by the cinematography, but we see other characters who are unrelated to this person be marked, and then 10 minutes later in the narrative in like real time die. And one of the characters that they have an emotional connection to is then in full color, and you spend the next 10 minutes just sweating about what's going to happen. Okay, love this. Cool. Tendai.
the soundtrack is entirely made of Western like vibed covers to modern songs.
Oh, in a kind of like how
Hardcore-esque vibe, yeah.
Morricone core.
Sure. Yeah. I was going to say in kind of like a Bridgerton, how it does lots of contemporary pop songs as string
Yes,
quartet.
exactly.
Is this kind of like contemporary pop songs as done by Orville Peck? Kind of like a sad boy jangling guitar renditions with the occasional kind of like crack sound effect.
Exactly, and a bit of a tinny sounding piano occasionally. Exactly.
Western renditions of pop classics. Yeah. Cool. Bring it on home, Chucky.
Yep. So it's very clearly a student film, which can be told by the fact that the entire thing is one continuous long take, but also a lot of the extras you can see just laughing in the background in the middle of scenes and breaking character. That they couldn't edit it out, and there's a few points where like you can see the boom in the corner and things. Like they somehow managed to get it into the festival because the story is so good, but the filmically it's a bit questionable.
And you watch this movie, and it's unprofessional, but it has something. It's held your attention. The way that it manages to kind of set this weird this weird tension with the 10 minutes marked for death thing. It's always so easy sometimes to lose yourself in a movie, but also sometimes you become very aware of your own physicality in a movie while watching a movie. Maybe there's like an itch that you get like in the back of your neck, and you're just kind of like, oh yes, I'm real and not immersed in the film. Loki, I would love for you to roll your heart rate for me and try and beat 3 hits.
Okay. That is only 2.
Okay. This is maybe a time that we can go and bring up a mechanic that we haven't encountered yet. In instances where you have rolled and failed, you can look to your heartstrings and rely upon your heartstrings, your connections with other people, to be able to alter success. There are 2 ways that this happens. If you're not heartbroken and you look to your heartstring, you remember a particular moment with a person you have a strong connection to. There are specific ones that we've written in advance. And that pushes you on, and you gain 1 extra guaranteed hit. So if you're just short, you can use that while not heartbroken to get you there. Or maybe even push a success to a critical if you're not quite into critical range. If you're heartbroken, however, instead, you remember that memory incorrectly, and there is a dark twist on it, and that sour note fuels you, and you instead re-roll all of your failures. You keep your successes, but re-roll all of your failures.
Okay.
That heartstring is then broken, and you will need to actively take steps to go and fix it again if you do it while heartbroken. So, if you are uncomfortable with the fact that you have fallen short on this roll, you can pull on your heartstrings if you like to see if you can get you there. It's not guaranteed, but it can get you more than an extra hit if you're lucky.
I would like to try. Why not? So
you have 2 heartstrings. You have one with the mysterious guy on the tube, and with Rumpy.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna like Loki would probably be thinking about their friends a lot right now, so I think they'll be thinking quite strongly about Rumby. Because like they've always kind of really liked Rumby's vibe and like how Rumby just kind of like goes to things and is a problem solver. But I think as they're thinking about that now, it's kind of making them angry that like they're in this really bad state, they're in danger.
She hasn't helped you.
Yeah, where is she? She's not fixing my problems right now. I'm gonna have to fix them myself. And like, I literally got chased away on that bridge. Where were they? Where were they to deal with that pulse? None of them were there. I dealt with it on my own, and now I'm in danger.
Okay. So please re-roll all of your failures to see if you can get at least one extra hit.
That is one more hit.
You get to 3. Beautiful. You succeeded. So would you like to raise, lower, or keep your heart rate the same?
I will raise it.
And last of all, how are you going to redefine this heartstring tag with Rimby as you break it?
I
So
think
instead of it being "I admire their vibes," you now call it something else that reflects this warped vision of your relationship.
like I feel abandoned by them.
Ouch.
The heartstring is now called "They Abandoned Me." At some point in the future, to stop this heartstring from being broken, I can now invoke that "They Abandoned Me" heartstring and make you re-roll all of your successes. And then it becomes frayed, and it's something that you can then repair by just having a connection moment with Ruby. So this call for dark power will have a consequence at some point in the future. I don't have to use it now, but I asked you to roll for you look down at yourself and you perceive the fact that you're in color when everything you've been watching so far is so gray. Does that mean you have 10 minutes to live?
Should never have left the shop.
You look back up at the screen, you lock in your sense of self. And it's almost as if the movie reacts to that. And it is now it's become more abstract, and not in a way that it's high concept. It's just that this feels like it's now just a set of flickering shapes at you. There is information in this, and you feel the information in this trying to whatever message that these flashing images in the movie is trying to impart on you. It's trying to worm its way into your head, trying to worm its way into your heart, and you refuse. You realize that this thing is trying to get at you in some way.
What is this even trying to say? Just leave me alone.
You yell, "Leave me alone," and flee the cinema. Do you bounce?
Yeah.
Absolutely. You push past the people who are sitting in the same row as you, march your way out the concession stand and into the sun on the South Bank, hyperventilating at the moment of something trying to get at you. Your phone rings.
Now, what is it?
It seems there is a pulse nearby.
Okay.
And in matching that, you also hear, just in your ears, "It seems there's a pulse nearby." And we're going to go into a little break.
What a place to end that. Okay.
Hi, and welcome back, everybody, to Euphoria Actual Play. I am once again your androgynous android late night DJ, Nathan Blades. And we've switched genre a little bit. We're now in a neo-American action movie. As we'll just go around the table real quick, and everybody can say what happened in the first half. So, Chucky, what happened in the first half of the session?
So Loki went and decided to try and catch a pulse solo. Almost managed, and then found that there is another pulse hunter who wants to hunt them. And so they have been hiding out, trying to avoid capture.
Indeed. Tendai, what happened in the first half of the show?
So the party, sans Loki, ended up meeting this debonair stranger and agreeing to team up with him because we do need the additional help. And Colm made a very good argument for it's either we find and deal with Loki if needs be, or Vox Populi does. And there was a bit of hesitation and not kind of all around agreement with that strategy, but it is what it is. And then we got to see different little elements of people's lives. We got to see Colin with a friend, and that got a bit spicy.
Yeah, speaking of which, Lloyd, what happened on the first half of this session?
We all went home to or mostly to our individual areas, but for some reason, each of us encountered something that was a little bit off. For Tendai, they had a incident with a fellow coworker where that coworker ended up jumping out of a window with like a garter belt full of knives. For me, my friend Solomon turned up, and it almost turned out like he was trying to give me some deep, meaningful advice while music played, which is really, really odd. I don't get it. And I have to remember what happens because I'm in a box. I remember you opening it. I remember the spell being cast and something strange happening also to Loki. But more importantly than all of us, one of us went to the cinema to watch a movie that may or may not be related to everything that's happening here.
And let's have Ruben tell us about that. What happened last in the first half of the session, Ruben?
Loki watched a movie called
oh god, it's so long. The lengths you go to save the people you love.
The lengths you go to save the people you love. For some reason, anonymous or it's unknown who made it through to vandalism, convenient, but it's a movie wherein a horse race happens upon New York in the modern day. Cowboys storming the Times Square like a pals of love, and then this every character that is that is 10 minutes from death is marked in Technicolor, or like in color for the rest of the movie is simply black and white. And Loki has attained some of that color, I believe.
Or rather, yes. I mean, who knows whether Loki was in color the entire time being in the real world, but getting a sense of self and looking down. I'm in color. Am I about to perish? But we saw the at that point the movie devolved into flashing lights and subliminal messaging, and Loki feeling it trying to worm its way into her mind, into her heart, which she rejected and dashed outside, only to be encountered with a very posh voice saying, it seems they have to deal with the pulse again. And so we resume. Oh, don't look so shocked. I also get alerts, you know. A man in a tan jacket and pinstripe shorts holds up a very expensive-looking smartphone.
I want to walk up. Oh, wait, sorry. Is this with Loki?
This is still with Loki.
Sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
what are you doing here, though?
Oh, I mean, you also seem to be a fan of the lengths you go to save the people you love.
I think fan is a bit of a generous word. That feels a bit poncy, and it's clearly a student work, and just... I don't understand that scene with the horses.
I will say that it's definitely rough around the edges a little bit, smiling at you. But I don't know. There's something in it that I found rather life-changing.
What would that be?
I don't know. I feel a bit more connected to the world of cinema. It wasn't something I was normally previously so worried about. But all it takes is just one movie to really change your outlook on things, and then you feel like you can do absolutely anything. Including, you know, hunt down things that can harm the city. You know, to save the people you love.
And are there actually people you love? You seem to be a solo agent.
I mean, I try to not mix business with pleasure, you know what I mean?
I think that it's a lot more fun when you have friends to do these things with.
Ah, and you'd know everything about that, wouldn't you?
I used to.
Hmm. Well, it seems that you're hunting for something a bit more valuable than friends. Since you're taking the time to go to the cinema, you might be chasing, I don't know, an emotion, a feeling, a videotape.
Hmm. I'm just searching for a solution to the way I feel.
Well, what if I told you, old chap, that I could provide you with a lead? Again, from inside the tan jacket, he pulls out, without a case, a videotape.
Where did you get that?
Well, even though I've got into cinema relatively recently, I've had some conversations with some people, including the director of the film, and she was actually really helpful in terms of explaining her art and how stories can get emotions and out of people and so on and so forth. So I asked for a something from the archive of hers.
Archive.
Oh, she's been at this a while. But you want to have a watch, right? He waves it nonchalantly between two fingers.
What's the catch?
Oh, well, the catch is that I don't really have a VHS player. I'm more of a DVD kind of person. Smart.
Ew. What next? You're going to tell me you have one of those filthy Blu-ray players and the CDs? You should be ashamed of yourself. I bet you don't even rewind.
It sounds to me like you might have a VHS player, my dear.
Well, of course.
Well,
It is the preferred form of media.
let's have a movie night then, shall we?
And how do I know you're not going to try and get rid of me?
Well, I figure that if whatever, and he now walks up to you, puts the VHS back in his jacket, whatever is crawling around in your heart, he puts a finger to your chest, and almost, not that his contact has made it happen in you, but you almost feel like there is something, a parasite moving around in there. Whatever's moving around inside that chest of yours is clearly manifesting out of your need for something. So I want to help, darling. I'm going to do my best as a hero to go and fill whatever hole has manifested within you, and then hopefully all that pulse issue will go away. And he addresses it by name, Pulse. Issue will go away. And then if not, I will clip you into.
And what about the pulse we're supposed to be hunting right now? You seem a bit preoccupied.
Oh, have you not looked at your phone?
What do you mean?
The message of the pulse we're looking for today.
I will check my phone.
It looks like a movie poster. And big explosion, like a smoldering, like a like gas truck, a petrol liner kind of thing. And walking from the explosion, there's this big silhouette with long horns. And in a very kind of like late 80s, early 90s kind of slasher handwritten, like painted font, The Last Night of Your Life in neon pink.
Oh no.
We'd better solve your problem quickly then, shouldn't we?
I guess so.
And so we move. Time passes, it's now evening. We see the blockbuster, pseudo blockbuster. Weirdly enough, it seems like the out of above table, it seems like the blockbuster is like a term is no longer copyrighted. There is a blockbuster like a nightclub in Manchester that uses the font and the logo and everything, so clearly no one cares. So you can
like that.
entirely call yours Blockbuster and they would not come for your ass. uh, very neatly lined, like 98 never stopped happening. You actually have a surprising number of N64 cartridges there. That'd be quite expensive to have now, to be honest. It's dark. Are you sitting like what is your kind of setup here? Are you moodily waiting in the dark so as not to be seen? Have you started setting things up? What is the setup in here, knowing that Vox Populi is coming for a visit?
I guess like, so we'd be in like the back room, like there's like a staff room with like a VHS player and stuff to like watch things and also just to rewind things. There's like a stack of things that haven't been rewound by customers. And I guess like Loki's probably just pacing in there, like very anxious. Like there's some very like rushed put together like snacks on a table in the attempt to make this a bit more casual, but like it's really not working and it feels very kind of uncomfortable in here, especially with like just the sound of like tapes as they're kind of like flitting and stuff on the screen,
In a
as like
very
Loki's just trying to occupy in their mind.
in a very like a Philip Glass, Hans Zimmer kind of way, the sound of the tape rewinding and the sound of your shoes on the kind of tile and the ticking of the clock kind of works its way into this kind of soundscape of like electro mystery tension soundtrack as you are pacing, and as it kind of like swells in volume as you get consumed emotionally by the moment of this waiting, the atmosphere of this waiting. There is a knock at the door, and then the door unlocking itself as Vox Populi comes in. I brought snacks.
Of course you did. What did you bring?
Oh, I thought that it would be something that would be nostalgic and childish for you, so party rings.
I don't like the insinuation of childish, but good choice.
I've seen your skateboard, my dear.
You got a problem with it?
Oh no. Oh, at least, well, once this matter is solved, I won't have to think about any of this or you again, so I can put up with it for now. At that moment, I think you just about move into the back room. We cut to down the road from the Blockbuster. At this point, time has kind of realigned itself in the scenes that we've seen so far. So Toria has notified the others that this is where you saw Loki in your vision, and you are now on your way. And actually, as you kind of are on in pursuit, your phones go off. You look at your smartphones for the next pulse you are supposed to hunt and see that poster. The last night of your life.
Damn. Ruby is going to send her a message just saying, I'll be there in less than 5, as they grab their bag and just kind of like tear down the street.
Yeah. I text everyone, we are not too late.
I'm already like on the way as I'm driving straight down to that location. I probably will get there within like the 2 minutes, because I was on my way down there anyway.
And with just serendipity, you will collectively arrive roughly around the same time and look at the outside of this Blockbuster. We get a worm's eye view shot of the building, and it makes it look like 50 feet tall. You feel the kind of like ominous wind blow through the London streets, funneled by the high street that this building is on.
All right, what's the plan?
I think we should go in. Maybe I could try and talk to Loki. You guys don't really come here that often, so maybe you feel a bit more comfortable on his own home turf to talk things through.
Is the door open still?
The door is unlocked.
It's unlocked. Okay, I think Tere goes. I don't. I think we have to assume that there's other pulse hunters.
Oh yeah, that Vox might be around. Okay, yeah, then let's all go in. But I'd like
Do
to
it.
try and talk to Loki some.
All right, then here's the plan. When we go in, we'll try talking to Loki, try and get him to calm down
Mhm.
and be on our level. If that doesn't work, we'll go for plan B.
And plan B is.
Which is
We'll work it out when we get there.
All right.
oh, okay, but I'd probably refrain from using the words "calm down" or anything.
So
Like
don't
that.
say calm down. How about be
Yeah.
chill, like the kids say?
What
Get
kids
on
do
my
you
level?
know?
Yeah. Get my or just like.
Oh.
Can we zoom out for a bit?
Sure.
Skibbity. I don't know.
We'll figure it out. Like you said, we'll figure it out when we get to it. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'll try and hopefully talk to him.
I'll keep any other
Yeah,
pulse
let's go.
off him, of them, if they're there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You enter into the Blockbuster, and you don't see anybody there.
Mhm.
It's clean. This place is, it's old, but it's maintained. Loki takes quite a lot of pride in keeping
Pride
this
in
place pristine.
Hello?
And
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm just yelling.
Yeah, you hear muffled voices from the back, and then
Oh no, he's already here. Ruby is going to kind of speed walk down to the back, like they've been back here before,
Mhm.
and just kind of like get into the back and say, "What?"
Real quick, can I roll my heartbeat to find the most boring movie on the shelf?
I don't think you need to roll your heart rate for that.
Okay. But I would simply want to grab a movie. I think it's like, well, that's an actual real movie. Watching paint dry.
Mm-hmm.
So let's grab that one. That's just
Sure,
there
excellent.
in the Blockbuster.
It's obtained. You
It's
you
probably
can
on
add
like
that to your
4 different VHSs.
It's a classic.
No, it's added to the court record. It's added to your inventory.
Thank you.
As Rumbi kind of like moves through into the back room, and we get like a POV shot as you kind of open this kind of quite cold, like the lighting is dark and quite cool in this front area to suggest emptiness and to kind of give that weight considering the time of day outside. And you open into the back to much warmer lighting, fuzzier lighting, like it's supposed to be cozy, like there's a fire in there, or obviously there's not. And you see sitting on kind of folding chairs in the kind of what would be the break room for staff, even though Loki works here alone. To both Loki and Vox Populi holding mugs of hot chocolate with way too many marshmallows on top. And so, I said, this isn't a fairy tale, darling. It's an action movie. And then I shot her.
What?
Oh, she lived.
What is it with you and just killing people off?
That's not how it works. He, from nowhere, pulls a revolver, spins it in one hand, puts it back. Spirit bullets, darling. It shoots the evil out of people.
And how do you know that the person isn't the evil? Like, how do you determine what part is the bad part?
Well, I suppose I have a bit of philosophy that, when it comes down to it, you have when you know that somebody's vibes are rancid, that's the pulse, darling. Of course it is. What else could it be? You just going to assume that people are awful?
Sometimes they are.
And sometimes they can work through it in their own time. And if they can't work through it in a reasonable manner, The gun is summoned again. It's twirled. It's put away.
So if someone doesn't live up to your standards fast enough, you expedite the process.
Well, let's just say I've never killed a person yet. Yeah, you glance at like the I guess Rimby may be staring at the two of us. This surprisingly warm conversation goes on between these two people.
Oh, Loki.
Oh, you finally decide to come find me, do you?
Decide to.
What do
We've
you
been
mean,
looking for you.
finally?
I've been here for quite a while, and none of you have decided to come find me.
Well, this is your sanctuary. You usually come back here for a bit of peace, and I typically don't disturb you unless you message me that I'm welcome. Like I said, it is your sanctuary. This is your zone. We have an understanding. You don't come to the atelier unannounced.
And if you needed help, do you really think I'd still hold up that rule?
We were looking for you, and then this dude popped up, and I was like, oh yeah, we should team up, or else I'm going to we might just have to kill your friend or whatever the fuck he does.
Well, he's the only one helping me now, so how about that?
Quite.
Now, who has been here to help you all the many, many times before this? Yes, what happened was shit. It was probably the worst thing that could have happened. But we've been there for you before.
And
You're
I'm
just gonna
here for
discount
him
all of that?
now.
Oh, shush it.
I mean, Loki, do you want to watch the tape or not? And I think we're going to go and enter into an action sequence here. Action sequences are not necessarily combats. It's just moving the spotlight around to everybody to make actions. So with that done, who would like to start making the spotlight?
I am holding my tongue. I have been told don't say anything incriminating. I'm keeping quiet.
You can be a messy bitch who lives for drama. What are you doing?
Absolutely.
I'm about to be like, all right, bitch, you're gonna get work, but it's fine. I'm holding it.
You're voting
Holding my tongue.
Yeah. Would you want to take this, or I'm happy to?
I am really curious what Rumbi would do.
Okay. So, Rumbi's going to walk and stand in front of this TV with their big, massive dress, as in you cannot see any screen, and be like, dude, this is like, okay, what is the problem? We didn't come and find you soon enough? Is that it? You think we don't care about you because we weren't running after you like ravenous dogs? You think we really don't care about you? Us who have watched you do many, many skateboard, I don't even know what they call them. We've come to watch you. We've supported you. How many times have we sat in this exact room on that exact same dingy, musty-ass couch that we lugged all the way from 5 streets over because it just happened to be on the curb and binge watch movies? Remember that? We had to get shots. Pretty sure we both got fleas.
This definitely feels like a contested role where it's emotional combat is a thing here. So you're targeting Loki, evidently. How about both of you roll your heart rate for me? Will either of you be adding in any of your aspects to add to the increase the number of dice you're rolling?
Hell bloody yes. I will. Ooh, wait. Can I use my radical self-love again?
Yeah, radical self-acceptance is definitely one of the tags that you can use.
Okay, Danny. Yes, let's go for that.
I think I will be using my breakthrough, and that's it for now.
Okay.
I'm on 6 by
Roland,
6.
how many 5s and 6s you both get?
I got 2 6s.
2 successes.
No.
I also got
Yeah, 2 6s, no 5s. Ooh.
Beautiful. We blade lock here. Okay. So nobody's heart rate changes. Something else externally to the two of you is going to have to break this tie. Loki, how do you respond, not feeling moved one way or the other?
You may have helped me in the past, but this little team of ours isn't exactly working anymore. Where were you when I was fighting the Pulse earlier today? And as for Terea over here, Terea was supposed to be helping me last time and decided a delivery was more important.
You know Terea's situation. He literally has to fend for his family. And as for the Pulse earlier, we came as fast as we could. And then by that stage, Vox was there, you were gone. He told us that he gave you a head start as you fled the scene. You got there faster than we did. It's happened before where I've been in spots and I've had to wait for the rest of you.
With that, who would you like to pass the spotlight to, Tendai?
I'm going to pass it to Torea.
Okay. Terea, what do you do?
I'm going to fire. I've been breaking so many packages to find you, and maybe I knew all along that you were hiding here. But I think there's sort of like, can I have sort of like all the wrapping paper just like collected from, This is what I have to show for it. I didn't want to just show up and then say sorry. I want to show you that I would put the shit on the line. That's not for me.
Are you? This feels like you're going to be making a contested roll against Loki.
I think I want to nudge at the VHS tape. The gesture. Do you want to go see this? Do you need to?
I need to know what it is.
I think it'll help. Vox Populi says.
I open palm slap that VHS tape into the nearest recorder.
Okay.
Or player.
All right. I don't think you need. Okay. Yes. Okay. You. I suppose you should roll. You push the VHS into the machine and hit play. This is a contested roll.
Oh shoot! Okay. Still rolling my 5.
Yeah. Okay.
1 5.
I got 3 successes.
Oh.
The VHS starts playing, and it appears it wasn't rewound all the way, so it's mid movie, and it is a like meet cute style rom-com thing. Where it's a dinner scene where the couple are at one of the parents' houses. It's hard to tell. You're in the middle of the movie of whose it is, and somebody makes an embarrassing joke at somebody else's expense, and they start laughing, and they keep laughing, and they keep laughing, and they keep laughing. Raise your heart rate by 2, please.
It's noted.
Who are you passing the spotlight to? It's now loud in here. The laughter is now filling the soundtrack of the room, and it's kind of hard to hear other things.
I'm passing the spotlight to Loki.
Okay. So the tape is just getting louder with laughing.
And
Um,
it's not like it's looping. Like the camera is moving around the space. It's looking at the individual people as they are laughing. The flecks of the dinner that they are eating are going everywhere as the dad is belly laughing, going slightly blue in the face, losing oxygen. They keep laughing.
and like, is this making Loki feel any better in any way?
Interesting. How about you go roll your heart rate trying to beat this is non-contested, this is against the environment. Against a two hits to see if you are capable of intuiting how this is making you feel.
Okay. That is 2 successes.
I'm going to invoke the broken heartstring that you broke earlier to do your dice roll.
No.
As you try and watch this videotape of them laughing and the laughter fills the room, and you glance around at the other people in the room, and it feels like they're laughing at you as well. Ruby is laughing at you, and you don't understand what's going on. Reroll your successes.
Oh no. Okay. That
Just
is
get another 2 hits.
no longer any successes.
Aww.
Oh no.
What's your heart rate at currently?
7.
Yeah, that goes up to 9.
Okay.
Now, to note, and I'll let you know this is the meta sense thing. People who are heartbroken when there is a person at the core of a pulse, if the heart rate goes over maximum, they purge the pulse from themselves and return to normal. If their heart rate goes below 1, the pulse consumes them and they die. However, the fact that it feels like everybody in the room is laughing at you is not especially conducive to you feeling like you're on their side at all. Who would you like to pass the spotlight to? The GM can also be passed to as a character.
I'll pass it to Colm.
Well, I'd say pass the GM. Let's see where the scene is going, personally. But I can take over. It's all good.
I don't know what Colm's doing though.
I mean, no. Mine's very simple. We need to get this problem sorted.
Mhm.
I don't know how to
Another
sort
punch.
this problem out. I'm going to ask the city for guidance. So in a
Marvelous.
situation, I'm looking around. The TV is laughing. Loki's losing it. Don't know what the heck is going to Populi. I need an answer. How do I stop this mess?
Mm. You extend your senses out to this area. This is, I'm going to say it's like, this feels like it's somewhere in Dalston, Kingsland, to be honest with you. It feels like there is a younger, nerdier community that this is. There's a pizza by the slice a couple blocks away. It's pretty good pizza, actually. And you feel the Victoria line and the overground that are near Dalston, Kingsland. And one of them goes past, and you feel the floor shake. And it shakes enough that the stacks of VHSs like rattle. And one of them, of stuff that's to rewind, clatters across the table. And one of the VHS covers sits in eye line in front of you. And it is, and this what VHS is it? What movie is this? It's The Truman Show. For the table, do I need to summarize the plot of The Truman Show for context?
No.
Cool.
I look at the Truman Show. I look around. I go, are we? In a sort of really odd way, I try to look at the fourth wall.
Give me a roll for that, baby. Hell yeah. That shit's difficult. You're gonna need 3 successes for that.
No problem. Okay, let's pop this bad boy. So I don't think my taxi driver skill is going to help me. Or that would have been really nice to could justify it, but I
The
can't.
space between destinations
the
feels
space
like a
between
pretty
destinations
reasonable tag
and
to
the love of
invoke.
the journey, I would like to throw out to both of those.
For the hero's journey.
Yay.
What?
I get 7 dice.
Okay.
Wish me luck.
Beautiful.
I need 3 successes.
Let's go. You don't need my help. Let's go.
You got this.
I have 2 successes. I don't
Oh.
have 3. I would like to
Well,
use
we have some. Mhm.
my heartstring with Solomon.
Ooh.
I have to pay it forward to them. I don't want them to be affected by this. If we're stuck in the fourth in some weird, like, horrible rewrite of a terrible TV show, they were also there too. I want them freed. I'll do what it takes. And let's use them to get 1 extra success.
Yes, you get 1 extra success and move it up to 3. You're weird to look at yourself from the third person, almost like you've astral projected and you're looking at the room from above. And you see the people in the room move as you see Rimby and Loki argue. It's like the frame rate has lowered and you can kind of see the individual transition frames between them arguing over emotedly so it can read from a distance at each other. And you look at the other people in the room. And everybody seems to be either their attention drawn to the laughing people on the TV screen. The laughter is still going, by the way. And the shots are getting more and more elaborate. They're moving on with their lives now, and they've not stopped laughing. Just the mom, like, mowing the lawn, just cackling. But Vox Populi looks at you. And it's hard for him to look at you when you're not an entity within 3-dimensional space. And yet you feel the body of Vox Populi turn and make eye contact with you. And he says, out loud, in a way that the room can hear, but I guess won't understand or can be properly heard over how loud the laughter is. This is the person that's causing you problems, right, Cole? Your colleague? It's fine, I can handle it. And you
Is
pull
it-
yourself back into the space again.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was about to go punch him.
And you still can.
I was about to go. I have to stop and consider that is the best move because we're all in a show, but he's not, and he's in control, and I don't like it. You know what? I've already committed. Let's get this done. I go for the
Punch
punch.
him.
Well, under current circumstances, the spotlight passes as you've rolled,
you're
and
right.
the roll has been resolved.
I will pass it
And
to-
you move to Vox Populi, and surprisingly calmly, while Loki and Tendai are arguing, he walks up to Loki very calmly, pulls out the silvery inlaid revolver, points it directly at Loki, and fires. Roll your heart rate for me, Loki, please.
Can I add things to this?
Absolutely.
Cool.
My friend.
I got
Right.
shot.
Just wait, no. Oh,
I'm hit.
Okay, well, Loki doesn't want to die, so they're going to use that breakthrough. I feel like it also fits for them to use the fact that they're a video store clerk. Like, this is like home field advantage, so I'm also going to add that.
The pulse at hand is going to add another 2 dice for marked for death. Sure.
Oh, God. Okay.
Hey, you're the people that established what was in the movie, not me.
Yeah, wait, who said that one?
How many successes?
Let me roll that. Sorry, I was working out how many dice I needed. So many. That is 1, 2,
9 dice.
3, 4, 5 successes.
They rolled 3 successes. Would you like to change your own or their heart rate?
How?
I am not
True.
telling you what their heart rate is.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to work out.
If you changed
Ooh.
yours by 2, you'd exceed, right?
You can purr.
So you're
Yeah.
currently at 9, and
Yes.
you
If you change by 1, you'd
so you would push yourself up to 11, which is your maximum, but not over your maximum.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Mm.
Hey,
Just in
rolling
case.
11 dice is pretty good.
Yeah.
True.
At the same time, I feel like this person's gonna cause us more problems, so I would like to reduce theirs. Because
Okay.
I don't like that they shot me, and I know they're gonna keep trying.
They reduce their heart rate by 2. Noted. That's very funny. Now, everybody has acted, and so the round starts again. The person who went last can pass the spotlight to whoever hasn't gone. And so, since I, as the GM, went last, I pick myself. So, in this
I mean, you should have seen this
circumstance,
coming, to be honest.
how the bullet goes through you, it does not hit you. As the Vox Populi says, as I said, bullets of the soul. I have no intention of killing a person. I have not killed one yet.
You still killed a part of them.
I'm just solving the problem. I want to help you. You're causing problems for people I care about, and I would rather that not happen.
What problems have I caused? I haven't done anything.
There is a raise, a patient raise of eyebrow. You lowered his heart rate. Look at all the people that you call close friends that you've put under distress. They're crying and screaming to get through to you, and they're not being heard. But it's okay. We understand each other. Now, this is the thing that you can say no to, Shocky.
Mhm.
Vox Populi and you have the same heart rate.
Ooh.
If you are heartbroken, you cannot have a perfect sync maneuver with people who are not heartbroken. However, 2 heartbroken people can have a perfect sync move. They're trying so hard to fix you, but if this is truly not working out, then maybe they need to see things from your point of view, gain some empathy. Does that work for you?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. And there is a cool side glance towards Colm. Yes, since you are being particularly feisty right now. And Vox Populi lays a hand on Loki's shoulder and turns with a sweeping hand gesture as to as if you're welcoming somebody into a building, like hello. He gestures towards you, Colm. Chucky, I would like you to also roll your current heart rate, as Vox Populi will also do his against Colm, who can protect themselves however they will. Rolling 6, 7, 8, 9, adding 2 for the heartbroken tag, a winning smile. Can't hear you.
You know what? That's the best I'm gonna get. I am going to use. Actually, no, I don't think I can use anything that'll help me here.
Mhm.
So I'm just gonna go with the road I had anyway. It's about nothing. But I did get 4 successes, which I was not expecting. It's probably not gonna help, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta do your best.
Chucky, how many hit you get?
So I got 3.
And I got 1, funnily enough.
Ooh.
So it matches. Cole, Colm, your heart rate does not change, but you are flung backwards back into the main area of the blockbuster and skid along the floor, where it feels like Yes, it feels like a stunt wire pulled you away, like a wire foo situation, and instead your arms flail and your legs cycle in the air as you are pulled slower than it would be if you were pushed by force back out of the room and skid along the floor of the main area of the blockbuster. I pass the spotlight to Torea.
All right, I kind of have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Can I sort of like establish a little flashback with Roomby?
As far as mechanics are concerned, flashbacks tend to occur when you are invoking somebody's heartstring for things. And I don't think you have a relationship with her like that. But tell me what you want to do, and we'll see what we can make happen.
I want it to be like sort of like to have a Western outfit ready for just like a kind of like a secret between us, like just trying things out. Like, how does it look? The action hero, Western movie star, and sort of like have that with me in order to get into costume.
Sure. I mean, I considering what one of your aspect tags are, and that could functionally operate in this. I'll say above table, but also within the narrative, considering how we're operating here. If you recognize that you are currently in a movie, then you can apply that to what you are trying to do.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. Then I want to establish that sort of like black boxes, sort of like framing.
You letterbox yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like everyone's boots on the barren wasteland of the blockbuster. Tumbleweed, click, click, click of the Air Jordans, the squeaks of the of the Jordans. And I want sort of like Torea with sort of cans in pockets, but like resting on like a revolver maybe, or like in the belt. You're like, I think we can settle this another way as well, you and I, since you love movies so much.
We cut to an instance of Vox Populi taking a toothpick out of their mouth that was not there in the previous shot. Well, howdy, partner. Are you going for a showdown? This blockbuster ain't big enough for the two of us. Smiling.
Better step outside then, partner.
Well, I don't mind if I do. It seems everybody of your friendship group needs an attitude adjustment, Loki. He says as he quite pleasantly and placidly walks outside and waits for you.
As I follow, I want to use the Watching Paint Dry VHS to kind of, I want to essentially trap Vox Populi in there. I'll just leave it sort of like in the group as I
know to know, but you could switch out the tapes and the laughter would probably stop.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that. I want the eerie silence. I don't want the theater. I don't want them to have the respect of the fourth wall of sort of like being recognized as sort of like on stage. So yeah, watching paint dry.
Yeah, which, stops the laughter as, because, if you're going to be challenging this man to a duel, the role that you're doing is going to be the shootout and not anything else, because, hey, I need to see that shit. So as he walks out first, and it gives you the opportunity to switch out the tape, and mercifully, this endless laughter stops.
Yeah.
In the high street. People are walking by, fully ignoring you. There seems to be some kind of, I don't know, cognitive filter that means, or it's a kind of a not my problem. People are squaring up in the street. Well, big deal. We see that every day. As long as it doesn't like get in my way, I don't care. And so, yeah, he stares you down on the side of the pavement.
I think your problem is you want to be seen too much. And I don't want to see you around here no more.
And I think your problem is that you are yet to grow into those shoes you wear.
Yeah, they kind of like wiggle as they step forward.
All right, let's go. I'm going to invoke one of my tags that, again, you gave me of cowboy skills, as well as my heartbroken tag of a winning smile.
Okay, I want to invoke emotional wall
Mhm.
because I'm being cool as a cucumber.
Mhm.
Knowledge of action cinema. Can I apply that here?
Oh, absolutely.
And I want to invoke a heartstring.
Well,
But I can do
that's
that
if
after.
you are too close, like if you're above or below.
Gotcha.
So if you're one away from succeeding, like if you tie, then we can use that heartstring and push you one over the edge, for example.
Okay. Well, I have one primed, just so you know.
Mhm.
So 2 for each aspect burned, right?
Yep.
Okay. Whoa. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. That's
How
gonna
many?
be how many?
How many?
How many for me? That's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits.
Oh, this is very funny.
What's
I
up?
also have 7 hits.
Oh my god. That's
So you get what you want. You now get the opportunity to invoke your heartstring and push your hits 1 higher, so you win. You only win by 1, but that's all the difference, right?
Yeah. I want to invoke the heartstring with Torre's sister, Cassie. It's short for Castanets. Where the reason why he's so into movies is because she held movie nights when mom and dad were fighting. And that's how it distracted her just from the daily onset, the home situation. And sort of like movies is the way to connect to Cassie, with Cassie, now that she's no longer in the house.
The movie nights stopped, obviously, once she left, and they became more infrequent roughly around the point that you started arguing about how you were going to live your lives. So maybe you'll get to hold a movie night with her again at some point, and you'll have to survive to be able to do that. You both fire. What happens?
I think it passes by the eye. It's like a shing. I want to have given them the same feeling of near death that they gave me. And that I also have that ability. Within their dream realm, they're still,
there is like a tear of celluloid as the bullet whizzes past, and it's not a real bullet. Neither of you have a real gun. This is the magic of cinema, and yet killing intent is killing intent. And with that tear of, like, I guess, film away from the face, there is no longer an indistinctness of a generically handsome black man that you've seen before but cannot place. It is somebody you've not met before, Torreya. It is somebody that Colm knows. Underneath the torn facade of movie magic is Solomon Tyke. Who would you like to pass the spotlight to, Ruben? Oh, whose heart rate are you changing by 1?
I'm changing mine by 1.
Okay, up or down?
Up to 8.
Gotcha.
Colm, yep. You want to resolve this? You're muted.
Oh, you good? Yeah.
So, from now, Colm doesn't understand what's going on. This person has spoken to them in Solomon's voice. They don't know what's happening, but they faked being Solomon when they came to the house, whether something's gone horribly wrong. They don't know, and they're beyond caring at this point. So the next shot that happens, while they both stand there minding their own business, is that there is a lovely, beautiful slow-mo shot of a motorcycle in mid-air, right above Solomon, right above what's called Vox Populi, and it's Colm coming down and Akira sliding into them. screaming, "This is a road trip now, bitch!" as they come sliding into them, as Comb goes all in.
Absolutely. Okay. I'm rolling 9 dice.
I am not
I'm,
rolling 9 dice. I don't know.
adding 2 for one of the aspects I've not used yet. I do my own stunts.
Nice.
And
Mhm.
again, we're going to be using that heartbroken aspect of a winning smile as he smiles as you go in, sliding in the car, like he
Yeah.
knew this was part of the script. Let's go. Let's roll some dice.
Hey,
Oh, that's a
Nathan,
terrible
if you
roll.
can,
I got 3 successes. Oh wait, no, it's 5 and 6, right?
Yeah, 5s and 6s.
Yeah, I got 3 successes. Yeah,
Mhm.
sorry.
What was up, Ruben?
just like, have you considered not rolling that many dice?
We are trying our best.
Oh my
Do
god.
it. You're
Okay.
trying to kill us, Nathan.
3 successes.
Yeah.
I rolled 5.
Ugh.
Oh, sugar.
Sometimes the way it is, baby.
So that would push his heart. He's pushing his own heart rate up by 2, and
Ooh.
going back to 11. As you knock him into the air, and he does a flip and lands on a horse, and now you are both racing. Who'd you pass the spotlight to?
I will pass the spotlight to Loki.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in a movie. You can do. I think it's pretty clear at this point, watching this man be hit by a speeding vehicle and then land on a horse that was no longer previously there in the shot before when it panned back down. I think you are cognizant of the fact that you are now in an action movie.
Yeah. Sorry, he does his own stunts has taken me out of this so much.
It's a good tag, right?
So
The fact that I came up with that on the spot, I'm very proud of myself.
it's too good. Right, so I think Loki is gonna try and attack this cool figure.
Mhm.
And so Loki is going to attempt to attack them. I'm trying to think what would be the most like filmic way that Loki could attack. I think Loki is going to basically. I like the idea that on one shot they're skating on this skateboard, and then in the next shot it's suddenly like just like a way bigger, more dangerous vehicle of some sort. And they're like speeding along, coming towards them. The continuity is gone.
The writer's room immediately fell apart at this part of the story. They had no
Yeah.
idea how to go and tie this all up.
And in fact, I know exactly what it's going to be.
Mhm.
Because I'm going to invoke my aspect of reckless partying. It's a party bus.
Marvelous.
And I'm also going to use breakthrough.
He's rolling his heart rate. He's not invoking any tags.
Okay.
The Venga
Ooh,
bus
wait.
is
He's
coming.
arrogant, maybe.
Instead of that, can I use my special move?
Oh, sure.
That's
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah.
And so instead of it being a contested roll, you are read the ability one more time, please.
Yes. So, Thrasher, when you really get moving, you're an unstoppable force. Move somewhere in the scene. Then, both you and the GM name an object or character in the scene. Named objects or characters are damaged, displaced, or thrown into peril as you charge forwards.
Okay. Name something you put into peril.
Heckin' Vox Populi.
Sure. I'm going to name Ruby as she immediately, in the instance of everybody moving outside and starting to gain in the pursuit, as the skateboard turns into like a party bus. Like we see a shot of Rimby reaching out for you to kind of grab you by the arm and be like, wait, don't go, and is now pulled along for the ride. So clinging along to the side of the speeding party bus is also Rimby. The instance of putting Vox Populi in danger, this puts him, it doesn't necessarily change his heart rate, but it puts him in a dangerous position, right? So I think now the streets are weirdly clear for this chase scene. And even though we're quite far away, we're rapidly heading south, back towards like Fitzrovia, Tottenham Court Road kind of way. Wild that the streets here are clear, considering. And it's not going to be long until you start hitting Central, and there's likely to be more traffic, and there's definitely likely to be more people, as Vox is trying quite hard not to hit anyone. And it is increasingly difficult the more populated the streets are. And it means that he's having to make some very risky choices in terms of piloting the horse around. If this was a real horse, it would be very difficult for the horse to do any of this. But as it sits, it's clipping the side of buildings and bending lampposts as it's rocketing down streets. But it's pretty rickety. A good solid hit would probably knock Vox off the horse. Who are you passing the spotlight to? I think it's only Tindo left.
Yeah, I was gonna give it to Rumby anyway because I want to know what's happening on this party bus now.
You're being taken for a ride like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 right now.
Beautiful. Okay, so this gown is like flapping in the wind, and Ruby is going to grab their tape measure and now has like knuckle dusters as they're going to start like punching into this bus to give them a hold as they crawl along the side of this bus to the window. And as they get to like the other side of the driver's window, like up, I suppose where the people get off, they're going to punch a hole through the glass, pull themselves through, and just like stare at Loki with this furious look in their eyes. And they're like, dude, what the fuck was that? And they're going to instinctively, they're going to be like, maybe Colin was right about this. And they're going to look like they're going to punch Loki. And then they're going to second guess it because they are wearing knuckle dusters right now. And they're going to say, put the knuckle dusters down and say, you catch up to that dude now. And they're going to lever the bus door open and start leaning out. And they're going to try and...
You're going to go for the hit. Nice.
I'm going to try and lasso that horse's legs with my measuring tape.
It sounds good. Sounds good. Again, we are just going to go and roll the flat 11 dice.
Oh, wait, actually, do I have an aspect I can invoke? Is it too late?
I mean, if you've not rolled the dice yet, you can, for example, invoke your special ability, considering you are a capital P pissed now, it seems.
Absolutely. I'm going to use my special move, Door to Darkness. So, yep, I'm going to...
Why don't you read that for the chat, just so they know what the ability does?
Sure thing. So, Door to Darkness, if I'm not heartbroken, I can use my special move. And for this scene, I have access to the reusable aspect Pulse Frenzy. And when I lose it when the scene ends, fraying a heartstring relationship.
So it puts strain on your positive memories of other people to do, but for this scene, you now have a reusable tag like you were heartbroken, but you are not.
Yes.
So you can now you can add that as an additional 2d6 for your roll if you like. You may need it.
Yeah, that I will need that for sure. So yeah, so that is 8. Yep, 8. Nice. Okay, cool.
How many hits?
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hits.
Oh, you beat me by 1. I got 5 hits.
Ooh.
You get to narrate what happens on this other side of this, but whose heart rate are you shifting, and is it up or down? Fox is on 11, right? Yes. It's pretty high.
Should make them exceed.
Yeah, I'm gonna make Fox exceed. I'm gonna push that up.
Vox's heart rate goes up to 12.
Not there yet.
That's
Okay.
all. Who are you passing the spotlight to? It's very high. You are quite close.
It's a new round, right?
Ooh.
Yep, it's a new round. You can pass to whoever you want.
Okay, I will pass it to Colin.
Mm-hmm. By the by, I guess in your whip effect works. You get the horse by the back leg,
Yes.
and it unravels it into celluloid film, and it stops existing
Oh.
as
Nice.
Vox Populi bounces and skids across the ground. Now in the middle of Tottenham Court Road, that kind of big crossing.
Oh, nay.
I'd like to edit that a little bit for my turn.
For sure. Mhm,
Sorry.
When when the lasso catches him is in the air, I want to do, because we're in a movie, my brain is in movie mode.
Mm.
I want to do the Fast and the Furious jump off a vehicle to catch someone in midair.
Mm.
I want to leap off my bike, catch him in midair, grab him. I'm gonna scream, "Give me my front back!" And that's my attack.
Cool. Wonderful. I'm not going to add any new dice to it. It's still going to just be rolling. Well, I guess 12 now.
Jesus Christ. That's like over half my dice. All right, here goes.
Believe in the process.
Just gotta roll high. Just roll
Yeah.
high. Easy.
Mm-hmm. He has no chance of winning, essentially.
You know what? I'll take 3. Technically, no, 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3. 3 successes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The higher the odds, the cooler it would be if you were to win, and
I
that
know.
goes.
But
Did
it's
you
still
say
12
did you
dice.
say that was 3 successes?
That was 3 successes.
Right. Vox rolled 5.
Oh.
So with a difference of 2, he raises his own heart rate to 14, and he is he looks awful. Like he's at the emotional limit at this point, as he's caught by you. You land dramatically in the middle of Tottenham Court Road, and he looks at you in the partially torn mask. So half of his face is the still kind of flickering, indistinct, radiant Hollywood kind of chiseled thing, and the other is Solomon Tyke, the person that you've known for years. I'd do anything for you. You keep calling us family, and I really appreciate that. Other people won't do that, and don't you see how she's squandering how much you care?
That's not
All he's going to do is just take and take and take, and he will never be satisfied. He will always be hungry. He's wasting your time.
That's not for you to decide. That's for me. Don't you take my agency ever again. I decide who's family. I decide who's friends.
The way that the shot is cut, you can tell he gets out of your arms surprisingly gracefully, things considered, and he stares at you, and everything kind of catches up. I like the idea of Torreya knowing back roads to run through, not having a vehicle to be dashing across London in. Just kind of comes out of an alleyway around this point, so you are also currently here.
Yeah. Bringing a very thin bicycle, just
So, are you saying that he's more your family than I am?
Wee baby.
God, no. No way in hell. There's no universe that's ever true. And for you to think that, though, that's what I'm questioning. Do you doubt my love for you that much?
You can hear his heart rate. It's almost moving like a thing in his chest. I don't know anymore. All I knew is that I felt inspired to help people, and then I got a call on my smartphone that showed me how I can. And I did my best. I've helped a lot, actually. And I'm just trying to help, but if I'm not helping anymore, then I can just leave. This movie can just end. There are always sequels. There are spin-offs.
The only person who needs help right now is you. And I'm not about to turn my back on an old friend.
Who are you passing the spotlight to?
I'm going to do it now, and I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder, and I'm going to say, you have the power to fix things. You always have. Just do it. And I'll pass it on to him.
Yeah, we're at the end of the app and I want to hurt someone. He looks at you and says, okay. Guess we've hit credits then. And he feels like he pulls the world in. Like there was a layer on everything, like the plastic layer on the furniture of your grandma on the good furniture just pulled in. Like it coalesces from the space. The lighting of this space changes, and you realize that this entire escapade has been astoundingly well lit for a very overcast day in central London in autumn. And it goes back to feeling considerably more grey. Your skin has pores again. The sound of hustle and bustle in the street, and the immediate traffic jam that is now present here in the middle of Tottenham Court Road is two people, a damaged bus, and a bike are parked awkwardly in the middle, preventing all traffic flow. It coalesces in his hand as a videotape. Loki, you can see the cover of the tape.
What does it say?
It's the one. It's the same one that was in Torreya's delivery box. It's the one that you were supposed to make and didn't. You can even see the title this time. What is it?
Oh. Oh, I don't know what to call it. Oh no.
They let you go through for the people you hate.
Imagine.
Uh-huh.
Look, his magnum opus.
And it could be frivolous, It doesn't have to be weighty, but it means something to Loki at the very least.
Yeah. I like to think it's just like, it just says like Furby commercial version 2.
Oh, the movie poster that was kind of established as you being on the hit list was The Last Night of Your Life. But I like the idea of it being like such a bizarre name of like Furby Commercial Volume 2. That's more number 2. That's funny. It's such a bizarre tone break for the circumstances, and I think that's apt considering who Loki is as a person. Was that number 2 or volume 2?
Volume 2. Oh, sorry, version 2.
Version 2.
Yeah, no one makes the magnum opus first try.
It coalesces in his hand, the video. The one that you were supposed to make. And he looks at you. Solomon looks at you, not Vox Populi, and says, I don't think anybody needs to see this. It clearly just hurts people. And he breaks it in front of you. And that's where we're going to end. We completed session 2 of Heartbeats in Perfect Sync London's Pulse as seen on screen.
What the fuck?
We did it, gang! Yeah, full victory! Woo!
It's a
victory!
Woo! This feels. We got there.
It's been destroyed twice. What are the chances that we even see it again?
Mm.
Oh
Oh,
my god.
Oh my god,
Please.
Ruben is fighting too hard. Good work, everybody.
What do you have to
Good
say
work,
for
good
yourself?
work, good work, good work. Right. Level ups are a thing in this game, and it's also our kind of comments and kiddos. Shasta is having the time of her goddamn life.
The drama is so good.
We passed it to 10 die at the start last time. Let's start
Mhm.
with Chucky this time.
Oh no. Okay.
Let me go to the level up rules so I know that I have it. Ending session P16. Yes, excellent. So you pick another player and describe how that character's bond or understanding of you and them have deepened.
I think probably Calm,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like while the other relationships have got kind of more and more strained, like Calm has always been like that rock in some ways. Like
Mm.
in this, when Vox was trying to like talk everyone into like doing more and more, he was very much just like, you don't get to decide this about people. And I think that's kind of strengthened this understanding of like Cole might not be the person who says how they feel so much, but they clearly like do have a very strong code and respect.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that Loki would recognize.
Absolutely. Sorry, I'm having a thought. You know what? Can I very quickly roll against your heart rate? Because I think at this point, whoever wins and changes the heart rate will put somebody over the edge and would purge the pulse from them. Considering if we start next session, you'll be back at 5 again, and I want there to be a potential chance of this freeing you from the this self-made curse you are under. So please roll your heart rate while Vox, I guess, rolls 14.
The session's over. What?
Yeah, the session's over. It's
I didn't know you could do
post-credit
this.
sequence. The credits start rolling, and it's like, but wait.
Wait, there's more.
There's more.
Can I still use aspects against this?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool.
The GM says when we
I'm
go home.
gonna break through and
Bear in mind that winning is maybe not necessarily what you want.
yeah. Mostly just you got so many more dice than me, and I roll really bad anyway. So I want to roll more dice.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just lie. It's easy.
You'll never know.
That is
I
4.
rolled nothing but 4s today. And I was
4,
like, why
okay.
is 4 not?
I rolled a 6. Would raising your heart rate by 2 put you over max?
It would put me at 11.
Right. You know what? Since Solomon has a heartstring with Colm, he uses that heartstring and re-rolls all of his failures for another like 3 successes. Okay, cool. So this conversation about that we've just had about the kind of like, well, do you not love B? And since you have a new family, apparently, so and he doesn't know how to feel anymore, and what was previously set as just old friends has remained old friends, but the tone is different. It's old friends, full stop. As the sight of the thing that you have been chasing for being destroyed before your eyes again, Loki, pushes you over the edge. The drive to keep retrieving this thing that has been lost is more important than wallowing in loneliness and the feeling of the rejection of your friends as the pulse is purged from you.
Can I get a post-credit scene? Just a really short one. I promise.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, please.
I look at Solomon, I smile, and I punch him in the face.
Let's go. Yes.
And I'm like, what was wrong with you? You're my friend. What was all of this shit? What the hell? Bitches, I'm gonna kick your ass. You better go home. I swear to God. Me and you talk later. I love you like a brother. We're gonna talk later. You have that coming.
He gets up rubs the side of his face and kind of laughs dryly. Still heartbroken. His heart rate is still at max. Yeah, I guess this is what you call tough love, right?
We have to roll. We have to succeed one. We have to do the post-credit roll.
Well, no, it's not fair. It's not fair to do that. It's a post-credit move.
Goodbye, Colm. I'm sure we'll speak again. And he just actually quite casually, even though people are obviously yelling and honking their horns at all of us standing in Tottenham Court Road, just goes to the underground, gets on a tube and leaves. Right, with that sorted, sorry, I think I did need to resolve that to make sure that one of them is no longer heartbroken by next sesh. With your relationship with Colm having deepened, Colm, you are in a position to either increase Chucky's heart rate or give them a new fighting style aspect.
I would like to give them a new fighting style. I like to give them heart of the party.
Marvelous.
There's a lot of work to get to them, and we spend a lot of time with them. They are the heart of the party.
Colm, who has Colm's relationship deepened with?
Well, that's pretty simple. It's gonna be my girl. Woo! Tendai has always been there, and Tendai has never let me down. Unlike the rest of the party, Tendai has never let me down.
I play a minor.
We might have to kill a bitch. Tendai was like on site. I'm like, I love that. Let's go. I mean, that's not what it said.
With,
My head
to check so there's no character bleed, you do mean Rimby rather than Tendai. But
my bad. Sorry.
No, you get to
get it. No.
But
also, I would have said on
site
too.
You know and understand this.
I would have said on site too. Period.
It was on site. It was on site. That's why I like to give it simple.
So Rimby / Tendai, how what does Colm gain? Is it a new fighting style or an additional or increased heart rate range?
I think a new fighting style. I know the last time he got tough love. But I think this time it will be like a kind of layer to that where it's going to be like deep connection. Where while he doesn't, like Chalky said, while he doesn't talk about his feelings as much, he definitely feels big feelings. So I think that like deep connection is something that Colm genuinely has. Like all his years as a cab driver, just listening to people, he has this level of empathy and compassion for people that a lot of people just don't have, and he has it in spades.
Marvelous. How has with the way that this cycle has gone, how has Rimby's relationship deepened with Torea?
My relationship with Torea has kind of gotten more protective of him. So seeing Loki be like, where were you when I needed you to Torea? I'm going to be like, hey, listen, we know the home situation. We know that he has to provide for the family. Like that is so uncalled for to be like, you should be there for me whenever I need you to be there, when we know not everybody's situation is like that. So the relationship with Torea has kind of developed in that way where they also see him in that kind of like everybody's nephew.
Yeah.
But as in where Loki still is like that kind of sibling vibe, Torea's also that sibling. I'm like, that's, I will look out for him. If it means having to like separate these two while they're fighting, so be it. But I may be angry at Loki.
Hey.
But Torea didn't deserve to get that shit either. So I think that's where that relationship's kind of deepened, because obviously that was also aimed at me, and I took that very, very personally. Loki, there will be words. there will be words,
Ooh.
but yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of a bond there of, oh, geez, we just got blamed for a shit ton of shit. That wasn't even us.
Unacceptable. Torreya,
Exactly.
does Ruby gain a new fighting style or an increased heart rate range?
I think a fighting style, street smart.
Yeah. Solid. Torreya, how has your relationship deepened with Loki?
I think there's way more understanding now. I think the sort of like the drama and sort of the meta-ness of sort of like the movie layers, but also like the very dramatic act of like, here, I took all the wrapping paper, like see how much I like broke my own code for you. It's like a little bit of a wake-up call to sort of like how much Torreya does for others. So I think there's I think it's deepened, but I think there's going to have to be some talk about expectations and boundaries, perhaps.
It might not. It deepening in the non-positive way is definitely doable.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, Loki. Does Torreya gain a new fighting style or an increased heart rate range?
So I think, especially because also I know Torreya is already at like the max fighting styles. I think I will give Torreya a boost to heart rate max.
Sounds good.
We don't have many of those going on, so
It's sometimes good to be able to roll more dice without heartbreaking, you know?
yeah,
Excellent.
that would have been helpful for Loki at the beginning of this.
Yeah. Well, this has been delightful. But we've concluded our tale for now. Marvelous. We'll go around and do where we can find everybody. I'll go and remind people what this is and who's sponsoring here, and then we can get on with our Tuesday night. So, Chucky, who are you? Where are you from? Where can we find your stuff?
I'm Chucky from things. I don't know. I'm generally just around everywhere. The main place you can find me is on Twitch. I stream many times a week, doing literally everything. We built Lego this weekend. I'm building a cosplay this week for Comic-Con, and yeah, just I treat myself as true variety. I will do anything once. Yeah.
Marvelous. Ruben.
Hi, I'm Ruben. You can find me on Beski as Urban Friend Den. Other than that, stay hydrated. Fuck cops.
Yeah. Excellent advice. Lloyd.
I am a microphone, right?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Hi, this is Lloyd. Nice to see you all. I'm just a person that exists on the internet. You can find me at Drug Dwarf on Twitter or Blue Sky. I mean, we're all leaving Twitter, so it's not happening no matter what. And that's it. That's all I got for you. I got nothing else. I'll see you later. Bye.
Beautiful. Tendai.
Hi, Tendai. You can find me at Geeksheet T on formerly one of my favorite platforms, but also on Blue Sky. Yeah, it's great to play this again with such wonderful people. Look forward to next week.
Yes, the grand finale. I'm gonna have to pull the stops out in the scenario for that one. We'll see what we can manage.
No, don't. You don't have to do that.
No. It's good. It's good.
Just
It's
the
good.
boring
Drama.
question.
Chaos is
Good.
But if you didn't already know, I am your androgynous android late night DJ Nathan Blades, findable on the Neon Caster in most places, including Blue Sky. If you've enjoyed Heartbeats in Perfect Sync, you can also play it yourself. It is available for a reasonable amount of money at theneoncaster.itch.io. If you are attending either Dragon Meet in London in late November or Thought Bubble in mid-November in Harrogate, I will be there with physical copies of the game, to which you can also purchase. This has been a Euphoria AP production, sponsored by the UK Tabletop Industry Network and made as part of Black History Month celebrations. If you didn't know, Black History Month in the UK is October. Black people exist and are making cool art at all times of the year, but this month you have no excuse. I hope you all have a fantastic evening and do tune in next Tuesday for the grand finale of Heartbeats in Perfect Sync, London's Pulse. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.